Hey everybody, how's it going? This is Zero E. Now, I am super excited because today I'm doing my first podcast video interview called Every Moment, and it deals with moments of people's lives and how they are impacting the world. So, join me today in ushering in a new podcast from Errol E called Every Moments, guest starring the wonderful, the awesome, the amazing Kristen Neal. Enjoy. Everybody, my name is Errol E, and this is my first podcast with the wonderful Kristen Neal.
Okay.
So, how you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. The weather's nice and things like that. So, you know what? I'm going to jump right on in. So, tell me a little bit about yourself and where are you at right now?
Okay, so I am currently a Peace Corps volunteer in Guatemala. And PSA, none of what I'm saying, all of what I'm saying is my opinions and not of the US government or anything like that. Not a representative of them. But I'm here in the beautiful country of Guatemala, which is a Central American country right below Mexico.
Nice. All right. What got you interested in joining the Peace Corps?
Yeah, so I always had interest in the Peace Corps because they just have like their mission. First of all, their mission is like peace and friendship. Like, what? That's so cool. And I thought I loved traveling, but I realized I love studying cultures and just getting to know new people. And here in Guatemala, I'm able to do international development, which is really exciting, and also do a lot of public health work.
Nice. Okay, so like what what really made you want to join like the Peace Corps? Like what event or like what really hit you and resonated with you with that?
Hmm. Well, just the idea of being in the Peace Corps was interesting and always appealing to me for a long time. I think I saw randomly, it was like way, way back when we were having like our first government shutdowns. Someone posted something about the Peace Corps, and I decided to research, and it was like during a government shutdown. So they have like this disclaimer on top. But yeah, ever since that, I saw on someone's page something about the Peace Corps, and I always had been interested in joining the Peace Corps. So I decided to do a little more research.
Mhm.
And after university, I said, this would be the perfect spot to do the Peace Corps. So I applied and I got in.
Nice. So, what is challenging about the Peace Corps?
What
Like
is
we
challenging?
know like it's all about definitely like helping and everything like that, but
Uh-huh.
there's always a challenging part. There's always some type of like, ugh. So what is that?
Oh my God, everything? No, okay. Yeah, when I started it, I thought, this is going to be a really fun and unique thing to do. What I did not think about is how challenging it would be because my time here has been super challenging. It's because you have so many different things coming together and like crossing and meshing, and you just try to mesh them all together. But you have like different cultural things that are going on, language barriers, and you personally just not being around or near your friends and family and you're being put in this completely different country to get to know people and like build those type of relationships here in Guatemala. So, what's the most challenging thing? Is that one of your questions?
Yes.
The most challenging thing for me, uh, I think probably just the attention that I get because, okay, I'm just gonna keep it real. Being a black woman,
Mm.
that's very different here. So a lot of people, they want to come up to you, touch your hair. Oh, and I also have dreadlocks, rastas, as they call it here. They want to come up to you, touch your hair, get to know you, smile at you, stare at you, all of that. So that has been maybe the most challenging, just so much attention. It's kind of
Right.
fun.
So so let's follow up with that. With the attention like that, is that something kind of different from what you maybe experience in America? Because if you think about it, it's almost like people are coming up to you like really wanting to like engage, get to know you, like definitely like, oh, tell me about your hair, what is it? Like everything. Like, did you kind of get that in America, or was it more of the opposite?
Hmm. I feel like in the US, there's so many people with my complexion who look like me. So people aren't kind of like amazed, like, oh my gosh, this Black woman is walking down the street and is speaking my same language, because it's more of the normal over there. But here, it's like, oh, this really new, really freakishly different and wild and crazy person is here. And just to top it off, just having like a different textured hair style.
Right.
That is quite different for this area, and I feel like if I was wearing my natural hair too, they would still be very intrigued. But it's just that like not knowing, not really seeing a Black person before, I guess, is really intriguing, or not really seeing an American coming here into this small city to like work hand in hand with you. That's like unheard of sometimes. So it's just off of interest, and just like being really excited for something new and different.
Right. Awesome. So culture, food, places, environments. What was that like from like America culture, Guatemala culture, food, people, maybe even friends too?
Yeah, that's a really, really great question. So, Guatemalan culture is very centered around family and just like friendship. I'm gonna say friendship, but it's more so like that warmth of the family type of friendship. So they are always sharing, they're always very sweet, nice, and always speaking to you, things like that, which in American culture, I feel it's more individualized, more individualism, and people are just, let me do what I'm doing and go about my day. And so I live in a city, like an urban area, so it is like that a little bit, and it's like that in US urban areas. But
Mm.
the US is just more so on that individual thing, whereas in Guatemala, I feel like it's really a community connecting atmosphere. So those are two cultural differences, and I just love that about Guatemala, because it just makes you feel so warm and welcome all the time, you
Mm.
know. But then there's other things about culture here, like in the U.S. I have male friends, you for example, you know. Yeah, but like here, I won't say it's not a thing, but if you're seen with like someone of the opposite sex, it's more like, oh, they're boyfriend and girlfriend. I know for sure they're boyfriend and girlfriend. So that's very different. And for me, I'm a very friendly person and I love meeting new people. And so often I'll just be like, oh my gosh, how are you? And I'll just ask them about their family and just like all these things. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm making a new friend. But in their mind, they might be thinking, oh my gosh, she likes me. So that is very different.
Ah,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
that's different. That's different.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, so speaking of family, do you miss your family? Do you miss your friends being miles away? Like how has that how are you feeling right now from maybe the time you left to now? Is there still that homesick, or is it like, okay, I'm getting I love this location, but I can't wait to go back home?
Yeah, that's so for me. I am not the type of person that gets homesick, I do miss my family and I do enjoy being around them, and I'm super excited to go visit them and my friends as well. But I don't feel the homesickness thing that others feel quite strongly, because I just love traveling and being in new places. And I just use WhatsApp or video chatting, things like that, just to connect with people, family, friends, things like that. So I don't really get homesick too much.
So not only do you do stuff with the Peace Corps, but you do stuff to make sure you are healthy, mind, body, and soul, and that is with yoga, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So, so tell me about your yoga journey. What got you started doing yoga, and how does yoga help someone, especially a novice like myself, who might want to do it, but it looks so painful?
Painful. Oh my gosh, you're silly. Yeah, so I am a certified yoga instructor, and I began yoga in high school actually. So I went to a really amazing public high school, and we had like we just had started block scheduling, and they introduced like an activity period, and then they had yoga, and I was like, oh, this is awesome, this is great, because I had been studying a little bit about yoga, reading the books. So I started reading books. That's how I got into yoga. So it's like, oh, this is interesting and different, and just kind of called to me and my type of personality. My In high school, they would call me like the peace person or like a hippie. So like I was drawn to that type of stuff and learning more about it. And then I had the option to be able to do yoga every single day in the morning for activity block in my senior year of high school, which was amazing and incredible. But I was really drawn to yoga because of a dark place. And I feel like it's important to speak out about different things like this, because you don't know what kind of things that you say people are going through, and this can be a part of what helps that person. So I was in a pretty dark place, pretty depressed, and really was going through a lot of trauma and different difficult relationships. And I found that once I got out of those areas, yoga helped me take myself even that more higher up, because you would do things and you would conquer different poses or like start seeing your progress physically. And it was like a mental thing for me as well, because I'm seeing this progress in me doing this yoga thing physically, and like in my mind I'm saying, yeah, I am getting better. The self-doubt goes away when you see those types of things. So I got involved in yoga through dark places, and it really helped me get out of those dark places. Y'all know what I'm talking about, like depression and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. And it's really important, especially as African American Black folks around the world. We need to start talking more about mental health, and just American thing too, but especially in the Black community, speak out on the things that you're going with and the struggles that you're having, because other people are having the same struggles as you, and you could be helping. Yeah, you'll be helping yourself by being vocalized about it, and you'll be helping someone else. So yoga, dark places led me to yoga, and I am so grateful.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because I mean, yoga, I feel, can like free the mind from like stress and tension and things like that. But also too, yoga is not like a definitely it is great for the individual. Like you could be by yourself and relax and like zen inside. But also yoga, correct me if I'm wrong, is like a community too as well, of people who want to like feel and live have a healthy mind, have a healthy body, not just with the food intake or the spirituality intake, but also just like, connecting with each other and just like progressing with each other.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a really good point. I like to say that yoga is not just a practice, but it's a lifestyle. because it does take into account those different types of mental things. It's not just like a physical thing. It helps you mentally as well. It helps you to de-stress, and it kind of sets you in that mindset of thinking about how you are presently and what you're doing right now. It's called mindfulness, and it helps you to, just be grateful for every single moment and really like live in that moment and not stress about the future or the past, because what's most presently real, what's real is what here in the present, what's going on right now. And that's what yoga does. It stops you and says, what's happening right now?
Yep.
It makes you pay attention to it.
That is true. That is true. So, have you done any yoga so far in Guatemala? Have you created maybe a yoga group or met with like kids to teach them yoga, or teens or adults, or even people in the Peace Corps yoga? Anything like that?
Yeah, I have. So what I've been doing right now, I've been teaching different they call them host families. So I've been teaching host parents yoga, small classes of yoga, and I'll be moving on to teach like a yoga club for some of the people in my neighborhood. So I'm in the works of putting that together now. And on Friday, I'm scheduled to teach a yoga class to adolescents in middle school in the department over. So I'm really excited about that. But I have noticed some challenges just teaching yoga in a different language, in Spanish, because yoga is very filled with emotion when you speak and talk about certain things, and you have your different mantras, like different things that you want to positive affirmations and things like that. So it has been challenging just because you feel and think in your first language. But I've been overcoming that. That's been a fun challenge to overcome. And it's just been really nice teaching in a different language, yoga in Spanish.
So definitely when it comes to language, there's that language barrier, especially if you came from, let's say, the U.S. and now you're going to a Spanish-speaking country. Is there like anyone who like maybe can translate what you're saying while you're doing yoga, but maybe like in a fun way? Like if like you're dealing with kids, maybe you can have people like write out what it is, and then they can hold a card and then they can do the pose, or maybe just follow along. It'll be a quiet session and it's almost like just follow Miss Kristen and what she's doing, and like that's the universal language where they can just follow along that way.
Yeah. So the beautiful thing about language is that you do not need to be completely fluent in a language for other people to understand you. So with Peace Corps, we do have a bunch of language training, and I've definitely seen my language improve, and I am at a level of fluency that I'm comfortable with. So I don't need a translator, but sometimes we make grammatical errors, but people still understand you. And the great thing about yoga is that I can be doing it with the people, and still they can look at me, hear what I'm saying, and then I still come around and I help them out and I show them, oh, this foot should be a little bit spaced more wider. So I haven't needed a translator. It might be a little challenging to have a translator because you're just doing stuff at pretty much a faster pace, but I've been able to do it all on my own, which is fun.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's good. I know for me, I need a translator. I would need help. Is there any other places that you would like to visit to not only expand the awareness of Peace Corps, but also of your yoga?
Say it again. I'm sorry. What was the last part?
Yep. So, is there any place that you would like to visit to not only expand information maybe about the Peace Corps and helping people, but also expand your brand as an awesome yoga instructor?
Oh, thanks. So I am very interested in going to African countries. So I want to go to African countries, and I just like the idea of like Pan-Africanism, which is like just uniting Black people from all over the world. And so I'm really interested in going to countries in Africa. Probably going to start with West Africa,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Kenya in East Africa too. The next place,
Right.
maybe Nigeria or Ghana, somewhere over there. But doing yoga in those countries would be wonderful, especially if they're open to that and interested in that. And I am also just interested in, when we think about the theme of like Pan-Africanism, I'm interested in going to places where there are Black people and just doing yoga with them and just like knowing their experience as a Black person, whichever country, Cartagena's in Colombia or in the Dominican Republic or Haiti, just things like that. It was really interesting to me.
Nice. Now, tough question right here. Ready?
Oh God, what is it?
What do you wish you had known when you started out from both the Peace Corps, maybe yoga, or just anything else?
What is something I wish I had found out before I started?
Uh-huh.
Okay, what is something? All right, I'm gonna take it from the Peace Corps side. So one thing I wish I had known before I joined the Peace Corps is that that's such a challenging question. It's not like I didn't know this before, but just like the value of like being around your family is so important, and like spending time with your family. I did that when I was back there, but it's just something I would just drill in even more, you know. Family is really important to me, and being away from them is also interesting to look at it, especially in times, more challenging times. It's funner to like be around them, but being here has taught me like, value your family so much. People, spend time with your family, you know, go spend time with people, family members that, you know. So I think about it like this. I have some family members who either live alone and they're older, or they live in assisted living or things like that. Go visit them, you know, just take a lunch break if you can, or, you know, after work, just spend 2 times out of the month with your family members. It's important. And sometimes older folks get a little lonely. So the importance of family. Yeah.
Yes. Family is key. And visit your friends, visit your family every chance you get, because we only get one chance. One chance.
Life short.
Yes. Yes, it is. So, is there anything I should have asked, but I didn't?
I will say, if you are interested in the Peace Corps, you can always follow me on Instagram and ask me a question, or maybe on my YouTube channel as well. So Every Day is Lovely, EVRYDAYISLVLY. Look that up, and you can ask me any questions that you have about the Peace Corps or yoga, questions like that.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, Miss Kristen Neal, for this awesome, amazing podcast. Have a great day. Get some yoga in. I'm going to try to enjoy the sun and maybe practice some yoga myself.
Ooh, nice. Thank you so much for having me as a guest.
You're very welcome. I'll talk to you later.
Adios.
Adios.